Australia's world-leading social media ban for children under 16 is barely a month away, and Anthony Albanese says he's confident it will be a success. The Prime Minister sat down with the ABC's chief digital political correspondent Claire Armstrong to talk about the incoming laws, and Claire joins us now. Hi there. So you are joined by a young special guest.
Yeah, that's right, Ros. With December 10 now very much in the frame for the government, I asked the Prime Minister about the government's preparedness for this world-leading social media ban, and he invited 12-year-old Flossie Brodrib to join him. She's visiting Canberra today to explain to the Prime Minister a project that she did at school where she essentially tried to test her parents' claims that social media access was bad for young kids. She spoke to neuroscientists and child psychologists and found that, in fact, yes, there are many harms linked to social media use. So I sat down with both Flossie and the Prime Minister today. Flossie, Prime Minister, thanks for joining me. Flossie, tell me a bit about this pledge you've created for your classmates.
Well, for my exhibition this year, I created a pledge that anyone under 16 could sign who came to our exhibition. And it pretty much stated that they promised they wouldn't go on social media until they were over 16 and that they would obey the government ban.
And what gave you the idea? Why did you decide to do this?
I decided to choose this topic because I've always been super interested in how the brain works, and I've never been allowed social media, and I wanted to see if the science actually backed up my parents' reasoning.
So you were testing your parents?
Exactly. And they were right, as much as I hate to say it. They were right, and social media has lots of impacts that I wouldn't want to be exposed to yet.
Pam, there are a lot of Australians under the age of 16 who are on social media. We're now almost a month exactly away from the ban coming into effect. Has the tech giants told the government how they're going to be communicating to these young people about imminently being removed from their platforms?
They are engaged with the government, but importantly as well, the government has information through the eSafety Commissioner. We have a kit for parents that's available to go out there. We'll be communicating through schools, but importantly as well, it's young people themselves. People like Flossie are inspirational, taking control. And it's so important as we go forward that this is a success. The world is watching what we're doing here.
The legislation does put pressure and all of the responsibility on the tech giants to take over the implementation of this, but parents around the kitchen tables of Australia are probably gearing up for some pretty rough fights with their young teenage children. Are you confident that they do have the supports, that this information pack, this advertising campaign that's rolling out will be sufficient to arm them over the summer for some of the tough conversations they're going to have?
I am, because this isn't a debate that comes from the top down. This is a debate that has come from the bottom, from people, from parents, tragically, some who have lost their sons and daughters. So this isn't a debate that's come from government making a decision and then telling the community this is what must happen. It's the reverse here. This is the community demanding an appropriate government response and demanding that social media companies show social responsibility.
You and Communications Minister Annika Wells have both argued you're not aiming for perfect here, but that's not an excuse not to try. But come December 10, if we don't see a substantial shift and there are still lots of underage users on social media, is it your expectation that eSafety will move swiftly with things like fines, or could we expect a transition period?
What we expect is for there to be compliance with what is the law. We expect that to be the case. We don't argue though, very early on we wanted to make it clear that there would be not a perfect implementation, because this is world leading and you don't have a perfect outcome from a ban on under 18s buying alcohol. There's a whole range of laws that are put in place, even going back to laws that affect adults, like wearing seatbelts, that over a period of time show what society expects of people, and people increasingly voluntarily comply. That's the history of social change for common good.
But if there are breaches, how quickly would you like to see fines being issued to these companies?
Well, the E-Safety Commissioner, of course, will be on top of those issues. She will operate independently at arm's length of government, but we want social media companies to do their best to comply with the law, and they have to show that they're going to best endeavours to do that.
Flossie, the Prime Minister talks here about it not being a perfect system once the ban comes into place. Do you have a sense from your peers and people you know at school that they're already talking about trying to get around this? What's your opinion of that?
I think they are probably gonna try to find a way around it, but I don't think it's gonna be that easy. I don't think it's gonna be as easy as they think, and I just don't think they should do it. I think they should be educated on the impacts that social media actually has on them, and I did try to do that.
Well, PM, meeting people like Flossie, is that giving you some confidence yourself? I mean, as you said, the world is watching. Are you concerned that if Australia doesn't stick the landing on this, that other countries in Europe or New Zealand might be reticent to follow in your footsteps?
I'm confident that this will be successful, and people like Flossie give me not just confidence, but I've got to say, what a source of pride as the Australian Prime Minister.
Flossie, Prime Minister, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks very much, but particular thanks to Flossie.